Welcome back to the channel for the latest news and untold stories about Catherine, the Princess of Wales, and her royal family. Today we bring you an interesting piece of news. Catherine is radiant in the most stunning and meaningful jewellery as the late Queen has gifted to her. By subtle manners, Queen Elizabeth II shows her appropriation concerning the royal family's work. Rumour has it that the Queen lends jewels from her vast secret vaults to the women in her household as a means of demonstrating this. Princess Catherine has been fortunate enough to borrow several priceless jewels from the late Queen throughout the course of the past 10 years. The Queen's jewel largesse, from both personal and professional occasions, has been made by her granddaughter-in-law and one of the biggest beneficiaries. For the occasion, Catherine held some of the greatest valuable and powerful emblems of the British monarchy, including tiaras, studs, bracelets, chains, and brooches. Not including the royal jewels, which are formally held in confidence, the late Queen has one of the globe's biggest luxury jewel portfolios. The Countess of Wessex, Princess Sophie, Princess Diana, Princess Margaret, the Queen's younger sister, and her daughter-in-law were among the primary recipients of loans all over her time as monarch. Lastly, Catherine was additionally a beneficiary. Join me on a nostalgic trip as we uncover the most exquisite jewels and the profound tales that lie inside them. You could just find out what you've been missing. At her most recent supper at Buckingham Palace, Catherine wore the Strathmore Rose Tiara, which is the most significant piece of jewel that she has. In a report claimed that it had already been virtually 90 years since the tiara was last officially displayed. The tiara had been presented to Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, and the granddaughter of King Charles III, for a wedding gift by her parents, who were the Earl and Countess of Strathmore and Kinghorn. The Princess of Wales debuted her latest tiara during the occasion, and joining her collection that includes the Lover's Knot, Cartier Halo, and Lotus Flower tiaras. Wearing a white outfit and coordinating gloves, Catherine accessorized her headdress with a sparkling flower arrangement on November the 21st, 2023. While attending an official supper, Catherine emerged just as the second woman after Queen Elizabeth and the Queen Mother, who wore the Strathmore Rose tiara in public. According to the report, the style choice was meant to pay homage to King Charles's loving grandmother, who demonstrated a deeply felt relationship. Catherine has consistently indicated that she'd prefer to follow in the Queen Mother's regal role as well as donning jewellery in a significant representation of that continuity. It's appropriate that Catherine, perhaps through the help of King Charles, has decided to carry the tiara for a century after the Queen Mother first got it. The item is vintage and out of style for a long time, yet it's the only one of several gems that have only recently had a renaissance. The pearl necklace of Queen Alexandra. Elizabeth II's great-grandfather, King Edward VII, presented Princess Alexandra of Denmark with an expensive piece of jewellery in 1863. It represents one of the most significant and ancient items of jewels that the Queen had gifted to Catherine. This necklace has diamonds plus big pearls and is set in elegant swags alongside matching pearl droplets. A tiara, studs, and a pendant that matched the chain were presented to Alexandra. During their marriage, Queen Alexandra donned the jewellery, and after her death in 1925, it was inherited by her daughter-in-law, Queen Mary, who is the great-granddaughter of Elizabeth II. Queen Elizabeth II, the Queen Mother, began using the piece of jewellery in the early 1930s after borrowing it from her daughter-in-law Mary, who had been observed sporting it. The royal heritage and monumental importance of the jewellery elevated it to the prestigious position of being among the Queen Mother's most valuable possessions. Elizabeth II, who received the jewels from her mum and Queen before she passed away in 2002, has not yet donned a single one in public. It wasn't until 2018 that it was seen adorning the Princess of Wales's neck. During the royal luncheon at Buckingham Palace, which was held in respect of the reigning monarch and the monarchs of Netherlands, Catherine was borrowed the piece of jewellery. It was worn by her with the diamond Lover's Knot headpiece of Queen Mary and Princess Diana's jewels. Since Catherine has worn several of the diamonds that were previously Diana's, pearls and sapphires have grown in among the most famously associated with the stone. Bahrain pearl earrings and a necklace with 4 strands of pearls. two valuable diamonds, lent to them by the Queen's own treasury and connected to Prince Philip, were accessorized by Catherine during his burial in April of 2021. Catherine accessorized her sophisticated black overcoat dress by Catherine Walker & Co. by wearing a 4-strand gem chain adorned alongside a diamond centerpiece. The piece of jewelry is said to have originated from an assortment of pearls presented by the Japanese government during the trip made by Queen Elizabeth II and Philip in the early 1970s. Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip celebrated their 70th marriage anniversary at the royal residence in 2017, and Catherine was presented with the piece of jewelry which she wore as an occasional gift. The tiara of the lover's knot made of diamonds and pearls by Queen Mary. There are strong connections between Queen Elizabeth II and one of Kate's most dazzling jewel pieces, which belonged to Princess Diana, Catherine's deceased mother-in-law. The dazzling diamond and pearl lover's knot tiara that Queen Mary wears was fashioned by Elizabeth II's grandma in the first decades of the 20th century to replicate a tiara that belonged to Princess Augusta, the Duchess of Cambridge, who had been Elizabeth II's actual grandma. After Mary's death in 1953, Queen Elizabeth II obtained the lover's knot tiara, which she donned throughout her initial tenure as queen, showcasing her excellent taste for diamonds, as is the wedding gift of Princess Diana in 1981. The king loaned her the tiara for an extended period of time. It hadn't been until 2015 that Catherine sported the tiara at a foreign event in Buckingham Palace. Following Diana's 1996 separation and divorce, she gave it to the late Queen. She's remained a frequent wearer of the item ever since. The Nazrul of Hyderabad's jewels. The Nizam of Hyderabad, a monarch of the Indian subcontinent, presented the Queen of England with a single of her greatest prized jewels as her marriage present. The late Queen of England has been seen sporting the Cartier-made jewel on numerous occasions all through her time as monarch. Upon becoming supporters of the National Portrait Collection in February of 2014, Catherine carried the piece of jewelry that Queen Elizabeth II gifted her on the special occasion. She lent it to herself once in 2019, and the piece looked absolutely stunning, paired with an Alexander McQueen black velvet nightgown and the lover's knot tiara made of diamonds and pearls, which belonged to Queen Mary. Royal Dubai sapphire stud earrings. At Scotland's Palace of the Scottish Parliament, the royal couple of Wales presented a unique drive-in showing of the real-life Disney film Cruella de Vil in 2021, wearing an exquisite trench overcoat by Holland & Cooper. Catherine accessorized her outfit with an antique pair of jewelry, set with diamonds and sapphires that belonged to the monarch before her. The stud earrings were given to the Queen by Sheikh Rashid of Dubai around 1979 as a component of a set of gems, which she has occasionally donned to them previously in other years that have followed. Catherine wore the studs with her wedding ring, which had been Princess Diana's before and which was a diamond with a sapphire. Maple leaf pendant. Jewels such as the Asprey diamond maple leaf brooch were passed down to the monarch from her mother. It had been bought by King George VI of England for his lady love just before she embarked on a pivotal 1939 official journey to the United States of Canada, just before World War II broke out. On each of their visits to Canada, the royal ladies were seen sporting a brooch with a nod to the nation's flag, which contains a large maple leaf as a symbol of their honour. In 2009, on their maiden voyage to Canada, Queen Elizabeth II derived the brooch to Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall. On her 2011 and 2016 trips to Canada, she gave it as gifts to Catherine. During both excursions, Catherine accessorized her initial ensembles by adding a brooch. Prince Philip's diamond bracelet. A set of diamonds that owned by Prince Philip's mum, Princess Andrew of Greece and Denmark, who was raised Princess Alice of Battenberg, the great-granddaughter of Queen Victoria, was presented to him as an engagement present by Queen Elizabeth II. As a second lieutenant in the Navy of the United Kingdom, Philip was considered quite poor by royal expectations. His mum gave him one of her tiaras to disassemble so he might use the jewels to make a proposal ring. He used the scraps to commission a stunning contemporary bracelet for his prospective wife. Queen Elizabeth II wore the chain, which has a sentimental history and is often called the Edinburgh Bridal Bracelet, frequently all over the wedding ceremony. For an official dinner hosted in celebration of the leader of China in the year of 2015, the piece of jewellery had been originally lent to Princess Catherine, and then she wore it throughout the 2017 BAFTA honours in a slew of additional events. Tartan emerald jewellery items. Catherine wore a set of diamonds along with emerald studs, which were a gift to her by the Queen, to a special night event in Jamaica during the Cambridge's Caribbean vacation in March. Queen Elizabeth II had been seen sporting the studs on only a few occasions since they were a gift from the President of the United States throughout the 1980s. One of them was the return supper that President Obama gave for the British royal family in 2011. To highlight the studs' brilliance, Princess Catherine paired them with a sophisticated Jenny Packham night out in the coordinating green hue. I hope you enjoyed the video. In your opinion, is it fair to say that Princess Catherine kept the new tiara all to herself? Farewell for the time being, and please inform us of your ideas.